For those of you that have been waiting for weeks for me to do this, sorry it took so long. No, we haven't started scouting reports yet. I'm going to let that fester a little bit. No, I'm talking about the New England Patriots 2018 season recap. Yeah! Kind of slipped through the cracks, but finally getting around to doing it. And it's almost like maybe it was one of these things like I didn't want to really do this video because it just felt like it would be a bit of a broken record. Like when you really think about it, and I've talked about this before, and there have been previous Patriots-related videos on this channel, I swear, with a similar theme of the fact that it just doesn't matter. No matter whether the Patriots are as good as they've been in the past, and to me, clearly this year they weren't. Sure, they got a first round bye in the playoffs, but you know what I'm talking about. This was not the same Patriots team of previous years. It doesn't matter that Gronkowski looked like a washed-up version of himself. It just didn't matter. It doesn't matter that this team has had other notable high draft picks in recent years that have washed out and crapped out, that they've gotten nothing out of. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that they traded away Brandon Cooks for a first-round pick. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that the first of their 2 first-round picks in this past year's draft, Isaiah Wynn, who you anticipated being a starter outside offensive tackle, didn't play a lick in the regular season due to a season-ending injury he suffered in the preseason. It just doesn't matter. You lose guys like Malcolm Butler in free agency. It just doesn't matter. Time after time after time after time. No matter what you say, it just doesn't matter. And as cliche as it sounds, when you start off with Bill Belichick, the greatest head coach of all time, and Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time, you have such an inherently competitive advantage compared to anybody else in the league. Like, you start off so significantly ahead of the game. I mean, you got Bill Belichick, and then it's the other 31 coaches playing for second place, realistically. And Tom Brady is the GOAT of all time when it comes to NFL players, comes to quarterbacks. Just accept it. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, my God, what more do you need to say? But you look at this Patriots team. What, did they win 11 games this year? Like, they won their division, but they've won their division for the most part over the course of almost 2 decades now. But they didn't have that feeling of invincibility, that aura of inevitability about them. Like, you going into the playoffs, you thought maybe the Chargers could give them a run. Maybe the Chiefs would be able to knock them off. And certainly once they got to the Super Bowl, if they managed to even get that far, you could have teams like the Saints, the Rams, the Bears that could all potentially beat them. You're also talking about the fact that the Patriots were the defending conference champions, meaning Super Bowl losers. And the last time a Super Bowl loser went back to the Super Bowl the next year was what, the Bills in the freaking 90s? And again, it just didn't matter. Trade for Josh Gordon. And he plays a little bit. Then he decides he wants to be a knucklehead again. And guess what? It doesn't matter. It's just unbelievable. This to me was easily the worst of the Patriots championships teams. It has to be, doesn't it? Like, maybe some people will look at 2001, but no, I think there was better talent overall in that 2001 team. And there was a different hunger level there. There were a lot of different things that played there. There was momentum. There were so many different things. This Patriots team, when you think about it, you would make an argument from an overall talent standpoint, from an overall team standpoint, as being one of the weakest you've seen in years. I mean, that's the reality of it. But it's amazing to me how this team is able to always find a way to stay in the mix. They always find a way to put themselves in position. They find a way to adjust and adapt to their strengths and expose others' weaknesses. And when you look at the Patriots in the playoffs in particular, it speaks to the genius, I think, of Bill Belichick. They totally switched the way they played. They became a team that was about running the ball and playing really good defense. They certainly did that against the Chargers. They did that for the half against the Chiefs. And then, obviously, they did that in the Super Bowl against the Rams. And you take a step back to that Chiefs game. They did a great job of containing Tyreek Hill in the first half. They did a great job of really slowing down, shutting down that Chiefs offense, and specifically league MVP Patrick Mahomes. But then in the second half, he must have taken some catch-up shots or something. The Chiefs came out guns blazing. And all of a sudden you get into a position where the Chiefs have a chance to win the game. It's crazy. Like, the Chiefs are going to go overcome these years of playoff disappointments at home. They got the league MVP and and their shitty defense isn't going to matter. And then D4 jumps off sides. And then Gronkowski, who's shown up washed all year. Look at that Hail Mary play against Miami. My God. You know, those are the types of games this team was losing this year that they just typically wouldn't lose in recent years. But when it came down to it, Gronk steps up and makes big plays when it matters. Edelman makes the consistent plays. And they get back to the Super Bowl for the third straight year, bucking so many years of previous league history of the Super Bowl loser not making it back the next season. It's just incredible. And then when you get to the Super Bowl, you're thinking it's Tom Brady, it's Sean McVay and Bill Belichick and Jared Goff and Todd Gurley and this Rams offense. There's going to be all types of points. And it's one of the most defensive-minded, boring-ass Super Bowls in history. And the Patriots wouldn't have had it any other way. And while everybody is sitting there and overreacting, talking about fucking Julian Edelman being a Hall of Famer, give me a goddamn break. When the shit was on the line in the fourth quarter and you really needed those big plays, when the game was most certainly in doubt, it was Tom Brady finding Rob Gronkowski, who makes a big play and then makes another big play, and then the Patriots are on top and they never look back. Like, even when Edelman is having the Super Bowl MVP day, a legit Super Bowl MVP, a wide receiver was a Super Bowl MVP, not Tom Brady. It didn't matter. Gronkowski, a shell of his former self. But when it really came to it, he showed you what a Hall of Famer looked like. He made those superstar difference-making plays. Whatever he had done all season, however bad he might have looked at different stretches throughout the season, when it came down to it, in the Super Bowl, the biggest game of them all, it just didn't matter. And you almost get that feeling of inevitability. That as long as Bill Belichick's on the sidelines for the Patriots and Tom Brady is the quarterback for the New England Patriots, in a lot of years, it's just not going to matter. So when you look at this Patriots team and they go into the offseason, they're not going to be incredibly active in free agency. They will sign and have signed second, third, fourth tier type of guys because that's what Belichick does. He'll lose a Trey Flowers to the Detroit Lions in free agency, and it doesn't matter. He lost his defensive coordinator last year in Matt Patricia. This year, he gets another one that he goes on to lose to a freaking head coaching job in damn Miami. And do you really think that's going to matter? And every year we sit here and we get ready to bust out the pens and paper, and I guess people still do that nowadays, and write or type up, if you will, the eulogy for this New England Patriots franchise. And the reality is, they probably have more happy endings still to come than their owner Robert Kraft fucking does. Like, think about it. Their damn owner is getting popped off for soliciting sex acts from prostitutes at a damn massage parlor in Florida. He's sitting there stopping in on the morning of the AFC Championship game, and this shit doesn't matter. It's just incredible, man. On so many different levels, it just defies logic. It really does. And like them or hate them all you want, what the New England Patriots have done, do, and continue to do is just truly, truly remarkable. And for so many other teams, when you start the season, you have to have that feeling that in the grand scheme of things, as long as the Patriots are the Patriots, no matter what you do, it just doesn't matter.